Click like, click share, tag somebody so we'll be. That's not how it goes.
But this is the
because the Let's Talk the Color Show don't rhyme with click share.
So what should I say?
Tag somebody so they'll be there.
Okay, so they'll be there.
So here.
Start the show. Here.
Yeah.
Start the show.
The show started. I'm trying to start.
Well, the show won't start till the song.
But you gotta let the people know that click like
and click share.
Tag somebody so they'll be here. Click
Come
like,
on.
click share. Tag somebody so they'll be here. Tag somebody.
No, but he said
tag
it started.
we
For real.
Oh, you started the show?
We started.
Play too much.
Go ahead.
We
Do it,
started.
Cutler. Do it, Cutler. Do it. I'm sorry. Devin got me.
Y'all,
Again.
hi.
Again.
This is Cutler from the Let's Talk the Cutler Show. And Rob, listen, I wanted to say for the next 1,800 seconds,
18.
I'll be there in your living room, your family room, your den, or wherever you allow me to join you. And
I'm sorry. Okay, come on, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead.
You may have seen them a couple days ago because the show, y'all all right?
It's him.
Because the show this week, did I say 1,800 seconds? Listen,
Yeah.
a lot of them, I think 90 have already gone by. But listen, this is Cutler from the Let's Talk the Cutler Show, and I know the platform and the stage and the people look different. God knows they sound different. But this for I didn't say it was a bad thing. I didn't say it was a bad thing. I didn't say it was good or bad. But anyway, hey y'all, listen. But I hope you brought something to drink. But for the next few seconds, it was 1,800. We're down. The count is off. But listen, we're in your living room, your family rooms, your den, or wherever you've given me the privilege of joining. You're giving us the privilege of joining. I know the set looks a little different, and the people, a few people here. But you know, of course, this Let's Talk the Cutler Show, we're going to talk to you and give you some inspiration and motivation, and we're going to base our conversations on this book,
The book?
Billboards to Better. You do know that there are 366 motivational and inspirational sayings along the highway of life. We're all in this thing together. So these are sources of motivation and inspiration. You can find the book at www.gbcutler.com, or you can just go to Amazon and pick up the book. Either way, join us. Get the book and join us. What we're doing here, we're talking about real life situations. We're reading the book every Tuesday rather. We're looking at Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Every Thursday, we're looking at Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Saturday is all day your way. Bring into the conversation whoever you want to talk about, and then jump back on, and we're back here again Tuesday. So listen, what we've done and what we're doing this week, this is one of those let's meet the producers. I know it's the Let's Talk the Cutler Show, but let's talk to the Cutler staff and meet the producers. One of the things that I ask my good friends here, I just don't refer to them as producers, but I refer to them as my friends, because recently I lost my dad suddenly and unexpectedly, and we wanted to dedicate the most recent 2 shows to honor my father, James Albert Cutler, who again passed suddenly and unexpectedly. So we wanted to do that, just not from me, but from the Let's Talk to Cutler platform. So the producers, who are my friends, are here. So you guys, you can introduce yourselves.
Hey guys, I'm Devin.
Copycat.
AKA, there she is, AKA, hey girl, hey. And that's Juan. So,
no. That one you're not going to see. Copycat, you're not going to do that. My name is new platform, new names. J Song. How y'all doing?
And how's that spelled?
JSONG. And if you want to make it purple, J Song for you. That's me. I like that.
J Song.
Lord have
So
mercy.
it's just one F. It's just one song.
Copycat, let me tell you something.
I'm just asking a question for clarification. Is it 1 or 2 songs? I need to know this. Hurry up, we only have 70
It depends
seconds.
on who you are.
So then my name is D Songs with an S. Multiple songs. And his is for you, mine is for y'all. Boom.
To honor my son. Okay. Boom. Did you say boom?
Boom.
Boom.
That was good. There she is, for real. Okay.
Y'all,
That's my J song.
they're not here all the time. Maybe they should be, or if they decide not to, maybe there's a reason. I don't know.
Well, listen,
you all
I'm sorry.
listen.
If she comes back, I won't be here.
How many
Okay.
times has he been on? Because I would need to know. Has
Well,
he
you-
been on without me before?
No, you all have been on here at the same time.
Sure, honey, because
Do me a favor. Do me a favor. Put in the chat if you think they should be here more often, or send me an email to talk2cutler. That's talk the number 2 Cutler, CUTLER @gmail.com, and let me know what you think. Tell me if you think they should be here on a more regular basis, if they should be here more frequently. I'd like to hear from
people probably
you.
say no.
Just,
Keep them out the
Put them back in the back.
See, right? Keep them behind the
just
scenes.
as long as they don't throw me off with this click like your note is. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean to get it started.
Somebody, so they'll be here.
Oh Lord.
Click like
I'm not doing
right
it.
now.
I'm not-
Don't do it now. Click somebody, so
Right.
they'll be here.
Right, so do me a favor. Go ahead and like this video. Go
Like,
ahead and like the
like.
video where you see the thumbs up.
That's
Not
right.
necessarily in the comments, but right there where you see the thumbs up. Go ahead and like the
Like
video.
it. Right.
And then show your comments. Make sure that you share. And if you haven't done so yet, click the subscribe. Go ahead and
Bell.
subscribe. So when you subscribe, then you'll see a bell, and you can click on that, and you'll get notifications to let
Right.
you know whenever the Let's Talk the Cutler
Whenever.
show is on live.
Yes.
Live and direct. Right
Yes.
there. We're visiting and we're spending 1,800 seconds
I'm
with
sorry,
you.
but the other
And
thing
go
is
ahead.
with the bell.
Uh-huh.
So if he
Talk about the bell, Juan.
Talk about the
if
bell.
Cutler decides to just talk to y'all in the morning, you won't
Uh-huh.
miss him. If he decides to jump on,
Huh?
if there's something hot going on, you'll catch him.
Yeah.
And if it's outside of the Tuesday or Thursday,
Preach.
so make sure you click that bell,
My God.
subscribe, and notifications. What is the notifications? Notifications.
Yes, absolutely, because that way you'll be notified to let you know whenever I'm on
Right.
live.
Right.
You certainly will.
Yes.
All right.
Okay.
I want to.
Tell the people.
No, not at all.
What
Not
did
at
I
all.
miss?
Not at
So
all.
What
what-
copycat say? What
No,
did
it
copycat
Because
was,
I
say?
didn't say anything.
it was just a matter of emphasizing the bell,
bell.
so that you'll be
Ring the
notified.
bell.
Absolutely.
Yes, we'll
All
be
right.
heard. I'm sorry.
So,
We're singing
listen,
tonight.
what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and
Uh-huh.
talk about 3 of our motivational and inspirational sources out of the book. We're going to look at August 19th, 20th, and 21st. So if you've gotten your book, go ahead, pull the book out. We're going to read together, and we're going to talk about what it means to you. Again, the book can be found on www.gbcutler.com.
I'll order my book first.
All right.
I'll
All
order my
right.
book before we-
And share it. We're just here. We're going to talk about really real events. Okay, so again, we only have 1,800 seconds to be there in your house. Yes, sir.
Can I read first before her?
You can read, because I like the other one. I
Okay.
like them both.
I like
All right.
all of them.
I like them all too.
So do me a favor. Go on and turn to August 19th.
August
Let's
19th.
talk about
Uh-huh.
August 19th.
Mhm.
One. What does it say?
If I'm going to choose the wrong seat,
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather it be one of humility rather than one of honor.
Mhm.
There is no need for God to exalt you if you're going to exalt yourself.
Honey.
Oh, I love that.
What are you trying to say, Juan? This better than yours is the Lord.
Think about that.
Think about it. And
Go
then
ahead.
start shouting.
Preach, copycat, preach!
Now, I was being a copycat. There was nothing but you love this.
Right. nothing but. But and you know, we can laugh at this one and talk about it tongue in cheek, but it really means that wherever you place yourself in life, place yourself someplace where you can always go up, where you can always grow, where you can always expand, where you can always thrive, where you can always become better. Because if you're not sure of where you're going in life, don't allow your ego to take you someplace where you're not sure you should be there or not.
Right.
Instead of doing that, say, you know what, I'm going to place myself either professionally, emotionally, or socially. I'm going to place myself in a position where I know I can always grow, where I can always do better. And for me, that's what I try to do in life. And, you know, I wrote another book, We Don't Always Get It Right the First Time. And I don't always get that right the first time. But thank goodness, thank God, I've gotten to the point where I realize wherever I'm going, always strive to be better. So this really speaks to me, because if I make the mistake of sitting in a seat, I think that sometimes I can cut off, I can thwart, I can just deny myself the opportunity to go further, because there I put myself somewhere when that's not where God really intended for me to be. And I think that's true even in, you know, relationships with friends, your siblings, your family. on the job, make sure that you think and you meditate and you give some thought and you pray. If you pray, make sure that you give some thought about where am I supposed to be? I want to make sure I'm in the right place. Does that speak to each of you in any way?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's important. It's important to make sure that, not that I'm really the master of my own fate, but I want to be a good steward over what little bit of life God trusts me with, you know. And so even if you don't look at it from a religious perspective, it's about taking the right steps to be the best you, but also taking strategic steps so that you can grow. Take strategic steps so that you can grow rather on the job, professionally, even in your education. So some young folk, if you're watching, it's just a matter of saying, all right, I always want to be better. The A student always wants to be better. All right, and so there's always room at the top, and don't be selfish about sharing the top. Don't be selfish about sharing the top. I said just a few days ago, there's room at the top for everybody, and there's a camera lens that's big enough. There's a camera lens that's big enough to shine on everybody. It's called the sun, right? So we all share that same sun. We have the capability, the wherewithal to glow under that one sun. Don't cut anybody off from being able to grow.
And when you choose the seat of humility, you tend to see, when you're looking at people from a humble place, you tend to see what they need. You tend to be more helpful towards them because you're taking a seat of humility, and then God will exalt that, and place you in a seat of honor.
Oh, that's good one, because I think when we see that word humility, it begins with the same word of humanity and human. Oh, I hadn't even thought about that. That's really good. So when you make a conscious choice to really sit in humility, then you're sitting at a level where you can see other people. You're not sitting so high that you can't see other people.
He knows how to say what I want to say. Come on, Cutler, do it, Cutler.
You actually said it. You said that you sit in a place where you can see other people. But a lot of times, if we sit in a seat that's so high, it means that we don't bother to establish relationships, because now I'm looking down on you. But if I sit in the same place with you, it's because I realize in this thing called life and this thing called humanity, I'm no better, certainly, and I'm no worse, but I'm no better than anybody else. Thank you for that perspective. I really hadn't even thought about it.
And that's the person God will exalt.
He will. And for any believers who are watching this, there's a scripture that says that what you do, you have to make sure that you submit and yield and lower, almost, so submit and abase yourself before the hands of the Almighty God, and in due time He'll exalt you. So it says really just humble yourself in front of God, and He really will exalt you. I think a lot of times we want to put God on a fast track. We want to put God on our schedule, on our calendar. And again, I want to make this reachable for everybody. So even, and we have to do that. I want to make this reachable for everybody. So even some of my friends and brothers and sisters who may not necessarily have a relationship or be religious, sometimes we want life. We chart life out, and we'll develop our milestones, and we'll say, this is what I want to happen when I want to get married here, I want to have children here, I want my career to turn this time, I want to be able to do this and that. But sometimes life just doesn't go according to your schedule. It doesn't go according to your schedule. And don't be frustrated. Don't be frustrated, but be flexible. All right. Don't be angry, but be adaptable. So you've got to know how to handle life. Just play the hand that you've been dealt. And I declare, you may not always have a winning hand, but there's always a card in your hand that will win something.
And just because you're on a level that you think that you should be above doesn't really mean it's not where you're supposed to be. There are people that are assigned to you. There are people that are waiting for you to help them along the way. And you might not meet these people or be engaged with these people if you're here and they're still here. So there are still some people here that might be dependent on you to pull them up. So even though you're here, based on your credentials, but you might have to be here in this season in your life. You're here because you're supposed to be here. And there may be somebody connected to you that needs you to be here right now, and then God can can bless you in that on that level.
I like that. It's about listening to life. And that sounds strange. It sounds weird, but sometimes you've just got to listen to life and listen with everything. Listen with your heart. Listen with your eyes. Listen with any intuition that you have. Just listen to life. Let us know what you think about that lesson, and let us know if you are one of those persons who have set your own course, but you realize that there have been times when you just had to go back, sort of make some edits, rewrite, retweak, and just sort of wordsmith and say, I need to schedule that a little later, or I should have scheduled that a little earlier. But guess what? Just because you miss what you think is a milestone, I promise you didn't miss it. Right. You just didn't miss it, but you learned something along the way. Let's take a look at the next date, which is August the 20th. So if you have your books again, make sure that you follow along with us, because we're going to what we're doing. We want to make sure that these are relevant to what's going on in life today. It would make no sense to write this and it's just poetic and just inspirational. You can't inspire if you're talking about something that people aren't going through. Right. So let's see what this one is about. Lesson for August 20th.
Okay, so even if the place and the process are unfamiliar, the provider is always the same.
Wow.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Yeah. That's you know what when I wrote that, and tell me what you think about that. Tell me what you think about that. A lot of times we want life to go a certain way, and we're looking for things to happen for us, but we have to. This is about relationship. It's all about relationship. You want something better, you want something new, but you're not quite sure what that is. And so what do we do a lot of times? We refrain, we refuse to put ourselves in the process of getting better, because we don't know what the process looks like. And we don't even know what the end result is going to look like, because we become so afraid, am I going to succeed or am I going to fail? And so we won't even try. A lot of times we won't even try. But one of the things that life has taught me is that if you put yourself in the process, and you put yourself in the process not alone, not alone. This life is not about mechanics and it's not about dynamics, but life is about relationships. Right. Life is about interacting with people. And so even if the process is unfamiliar, the people in the process with you don't have to be unfamiliar. So if you establish relationship, there are people who will grab your hand and walk you right on through.
That's true.
I remember when I was getting ready to go to law school. I'd never gone to law school before, obviously, and I was working, but I knew I wanted better. And do you know that a couple days before I was supposed to leave to go to law school, I completely changed my mind. I said, I'm not going, because I don't know what it's going to look like. I was comfortable with my job. I was comfortable with my career at the time. I had an undergraduate degree in computer systems, and I was teaching, one of the few African-American men teaching at the time in that field. So I was comfortable, and I said, I'm just not going. I had established a choir, and I had stuff to do, and I was good with that. And at the last minute, I was afraid of what the change was going to look like. And I said, I'm not going. Did you know my oldest brother was in the military at the time, came home, packed me up, put me in that car and said, guess what? You're going. And I'm so thankful, because what he and my mother said was that, you know, we've never been there either, but we're in this process with you. And so while all of that was unfamiliar, while all of that was different, the people in the process were the same. And that's all I'm saying. And you know, if you want to put it on a spiritual plateau, God is going to be there. But for those of you, my friends, who may not be so spiritual, just know it's about relationships with people. You were going to jump in and say something, I think, or did I? Yeah.
There are a few people who are stagnant on their job because they're unfamiliar with the next step, how to get to the next step, just afraid of the whole process. So they're sitting in a position and won't reach out and try to get better because of the unknown, of the unfamiliar. So what do you say to them in the workplace?
Yeah, you know what, Juan, I think probably it happens a lot more in the workplace than we realize. Opportunities are available, and we don't want to apply. You know, maybe some companies will say, hey, we'll pay you to go to school, we'll pay you to do this, but it's unfamiliar. From that perspective, think about the people. Form the relationships with the people. I don't know what this advancement is going to look like, because I've been in this position for 15 years or for 5-10 years. I've been here, so I don't know the skill set that is required there. Don't be intimidated by the unknown, because you're not the only one who doesn't know it.
That's true.
Just I would suggest that they would just link up with people, build relationships with people that you can trust. And a lot of times going through the unknown with somebody that you know, it's what gives you comfort, it's what gives you ease. So on the job, talk to the people who know.
Right, connect with those people who are in that position already.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You have
So
forged
I
those
spent
relationships.
like a large portion of my life playing it safe, and I still do. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think that's a good thing most times. But I've always kind of gone by the saying, you know what you have, you don't know what you're going to get. And I tell you, I have made so many life decisions based on that, and stayed in situations based on that. And I mean, bad relationships, jobs, and I think about the times that I could have not played it safe, and maybe just jumped out there. And I think about where I could be. Now, I don't want to get hung up on the shoulda, coulda, woulda. But the reality of it is some of those opportunities I missed not because I wasn't qualified, but because I talked myself out of it. And I didn't really give myself a chance to even lose in those situations.
Right.
You know, I never get, because I wanted to. Listen, I am such a control freak when it comes to certain things. So if I'm here in this place and it's been working, I'm gonna stay here.
And you're not the only one, Devin. I would wager that lots of our friends who are watching, they think the same thing. We get comfortable where we are. So when I snuggle up under that comforter, I'm comfortable there. It's warm, it's familiar, I know it all too well. And the thought of just tossing that comforter off, I don't know if I should do that, because I don't know if the room is going to be the same temperature. I don't know if the room is going to be cold. But one thing that we have to do is say, you know what? I don't have to make that journey or that thing by myself. Somebody has done this before. Somebody has done. Don't be a slave. Don't be a slave to the here and now. Don't be a slave to the here and now. I mean, I'm a creature of habit as well, but when it comes to opportunities, I've learned, go after those opportunities, but go with somebody who's gone before.
One of my sayings is, all they can do is say no.
All they can do is say no.
So go to the next one.
And if you don't know someone that's gone before, even if it's never been done before, because sometimes we venture out on things, especially entrepreneurs, that have never been done before. We know where our hope and our strength and our faith lies. So if we don't have a friend or a brother or a sister that's done it before us, we know that we still have God. Those of us that believe, we know that we still have someone to lean on to get us through it. And the bottom line is this: it's okay to fail.
It is.
It's so simple. Like, so what? Like, if you fail, so what?
And thank you for saying that.
There's something to be learned in failure. There's to be learned in that.
That's what we feel. Really. You know, because nobody really fears going to get a promotion and doing well. Duh. Like, we don't, you know, what if I can't do it? Like, or what if they don't pick me? Like you say, all they can do is say no.
Say no.
And but they definitely not gonna pick you if you don't apply.
Right. And we operate in that space and that place of fear so often, and we hear the cliche that says, you know, if you want different results, then you've got to do something different. And that is so true. That is so true. Don't be a don't be a prisoner of the present. Honestly, and you all know when these things come, I then say, listen, I'm just trying to save your life. Don't be a prisoner of the present, or you will never get to the future. And there's a future with your name on it. I promise you, there's a future with your name on it. So if you have goals, if you have aspirations, if you have dreams, if you're watching this and you just say, I want to be better. Trust that there are people. Trust that there are people somewhere around you. Trust timing. Trust that it will all come together. That there are people around you who will help you get there. Form the relationship. This says, even if the place and the process are unfamiliar, it means it's some new waters that you've never traversed. You may not even, the process, the place is unfamiliar because I've been here. But you've got to believe that the provider is always the same in terms of the relationships. It's about forming relationships, and they can be horizontal relationships, and sometimes they're vertical relationships. But all right, the provider, whether it is the provider, the provider sometimes provide through these people. True. All right, don't give up on people being able to be there for you, and you be there for people.
But what is the thing or the saying about if you're the smartest one in your circle, then you need to.
If you're the smartest one in your circle, you need to expand your circle. Expand the circle. I don't necessarily say change it, but at least expand it. Because you always want to hear from other people, because you can't be the only one who knows it all. Because I think I said in another book, if I am my only source, if I'm my only source of elevation, then I never go higher than I already am.
That's
Right? Yeah. So expand your circle.
They stagnant, don't even know it. They think they're smart. You're not smart, you're just stagnant.
Just stagnant. Right. And then somewhere in that your ego says, I'm the smartest one in the crowd.
And they know nothing for you.
Right.
Not a thing.
And not to burst anybody's bubble.
Burst the bubbles.
But if you enjoy being the smartest one in the crowd, you're the dumbest one in the crowd. Listen, I don't mean to offend anybody. I don't mean
they need to know. They just need to know. Because you're trying to save their life.
I'm trying to save your life. You know, if people brag about being the smartest one, y'all get those people out of your circle.
Right.
Because what's happening is that they enjoy that area of looking at you in submission to them and thinking that you are less than them. Get those people. That's toxic. Get that kind of people and person out of your circle. People who brag about being better than you and having more.
Do people do that in circles?
Well, would you
they
know
have
what?
their way of doing it.
Is this what we doing in circles?
Some people do it. So you know, so if I'm driving a Rolls Royce, and then you tell me that, oh, you know, I just bought a Mercedes, and I go, oh, that's nice.
You need to check your circle.
It's just that kind of stuff. So sometimes, you know, people can be sort of, as we say in the South, nice nasty about stuff, or they can just be sort of passive aggressive. But
that's a show. Check your circle is a whole show. Like we need a whole
1800
minute. What is it? 1800 minutes.
1800 seconds.
They're not
gonna give us 1800 minutes.
We need 1800 minutes. Juan tried to take it the other day. You ain't said nothing to him. This is favoritism. You think you better than me?
She's taking my seconds. She's taking my seconds. But
she's just a copycat.
No, seriously though, we need a show for that.
Check your circle.
Like seriously.
Y'all. So send us right in the comments if you like to see a show that says check your circle. We can tell you what the various circles look like. Some people think they got circles and they got triangles. Some people think they got circles and they got rectangles. Some people think they got
right.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Circles ain't connecting.
I'm telling you.
Trials ain't angles.
Right. I'm telling you. Right. Oh, right. They don't close.
They don't close.
Right.
Oh Lord.
I can stay there all night.
Okay.
All right. But we won't because we've only got probably about 120 seconds maybe left. So we'll see.
Up all the seconds.
Well, listen. So somebody go to August 21.
August 21st.
Yeah.
When you need directions, stop ignoring the signs.
Y'all, we do this so much in life. We do this so much in life. I don't believe that we're ever placed in a position without having been given instructions. I believe it's true in life, and sometimes on this because we're on the highway of life together. Sometimes along that highway, we don't hold our heads up and see the signs. And the next thing you know, you've passed something that gave you instructions because you forgot to look up. You forgot to be vigilant and just observant about what's going on in life. This lesson is really saying pay attention to the signs in life. Just pay attention to the signs. They are there. I don't believe you're ever put in a position without giving instructions. I don't ever believe that you have an assignment without being given the wherewithal and the tools. That's just my belief. I think I was sharing with you all that even in life sometimes, and I know there are times, and I might have to steal 60 seconds for this, but I know there are times in life, when it looks like, I don't know if I agree with the fact that life always gives me the signs, but I promise you there are times when you get to this sign, you get to this billboard, and the only thing that billboard is telling you is that, you know what, you passed something 5 miles back up the road, and this billboard is just to reassure you, you've got a little more endurance, you got a little more perseverance, you got a little more strength, you got a little more wherewithal. Pay attention to the signs, and don't you post artificial signs in your life where they don't belong.
Ooh,
we are not in charge of our own life. You can't put up a sign that says make a U-turn when life is telling you to keep going. Right? Yes, you just can't do that. Y'all got anything else to say? Because I might just stop. Listen, let me just tell y'all, we've been in your house, in your room for 1,800 seconds. Gotta go.
Gotta go.
Bye. Bye.